Ever since I first drank, I was a kid. I first drank alcohol, and I was in my kitchen, and I put on Tupac. And I went to my parents' liquor cabinet and I opened it up. And my parents drank gin and vodka. Gin tasted like Christmas trees. I was cool with that. I got out the vodka and I took a shot and I was like, ooh. Oh my God. And I was like, I'm gonna do that again. And I'm gonna do that again. 12 shots later, by myself, listening to Thug Passion in the kitchen, rocking a wife beater, I was wasted. And not really in a good way. My mom got home. For some reason, I got out of the house. I decided to take the bus downtown. I was in Seattle. I'm from Seattle. I took the bus downtown. And you know when you're drunk and you're like, I want some French fries. You know that drunk? You're like, I want some greasy shit. Like, this is my first experience being drunk. I was like, I want some French fries. And I went to McDonald's. Horrible idea. Horrible idea. And I order my French fries and I sit down and I just start bombing on the French fries really quickly. And again, I'm like 100 pounds. I've just taken 12 shots. I'm wasted. I eat a bunch of French fries. All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to throw up. Like right now. And I'm sitting at the table by myself. And I go over to the trash can, and it's one of those trash cans that you push like inward and it swings like this. And I push it open and I try to stick my head in to throw up. And of course, I'm wasted. I threw up all over myself. I went to the bathroom, a cop followed me into the bathroom, I had to run from the cop downtown. Anyway, it shows you that I have never had moderation, and from that day on, I never did. When I drank, I got wasted like that. Maybe not every time. It's not really a good thing, but in fact, it wasn't a good thing at all, because for me, you know, a lot of rappers are like, I need to smoke before I create. Like, I need to smoke a blunt before I can rap. And for me, I would smoke a blunt and no thoughts would go through my mind. Like, a lot of people need that creativity. It did not work for me. I could not be creative. As long as I was smoking and drinking, I could not be creative. And I knew that if I was going to have a career making music, I was going to have to get sober, and I could not do it on my own. And finally, in 2008, I went to treatment, and I got sober for the first time in my life. Thank you, guys. And again, as I said before, my dream was always just to make music. I didn't need to make a bunch of money. I didn't need a bunch of cars. I didn't need a mansion. I didn't need video girls. I didn't need any of that. What I wanted more than anything was to create art and to be able to travel and perform in front of crowds like you guys. And Ryan and I put out an EP, and we started with 5 people. We then went to like 10 people in the crowd, 15 people in the crowd, back down to 12 people in the crowd. And we kept going, and it slowly got up to the 50s and to the hundreds and a couple hundred people, and we started to sell out shows, and we were living what we'd always wanted to do, and that was because I was sober. That was it. That was the reason. And a little over a year ago, we got home off a tour. And tour is weird because you're in front of these crowds every single night, right? You have all these people, and everyone's showing you all this love, and you get home, and you go home, and you sit on your couch, and you're like, this shit is weird, man. I'm alone. I'm used to having all this energy, and you guys give 100% every single night. The people give you so much love. And when you get home, it's strange. And I felt weird, like I wasn't going to the AA meetings I normally go to, and I felt weird in my head, and I just wanted to escape my own thoughts. You guys ever feel like that? Like you just want to get out of your own head. And I ended up getting loaded, and I lost 3.5 years of continuous sobriety that I had accumulated. And when it happened, I had no idea what to do. I didn't tell Ryan, I didn't tell my manager, I didn't tell my girlfriend, I didn't tell anybody. I felt like I had let everyone down that had connected with my music, that had listened to Other Side and got something from it. I felt like I had let all of you guys down, that I had failed. And I went into the studio. It was one of the most depressing, dark times of my life. And I went into the studio, and Ryan had a beat playing. And when he left, I sat down, and I used the paper as my therapy, and I wrote this song. It's called Starting Over. Years I was so proud of, and I threw them all away for 2 styrofoam cups. The irony, everyone will think that he lied to me. Made my sobriety so public, there's no fucking privacy. But I'll talk about it, and I carry a date. That's your 8-10-08, and now it's been changed. And when the book hits a box, the same, but I never was. Just a false prophet that never came. And will they think that everything that I'm thinking is all in fake? Or will I just take my step to the grave? What the fuck are my parents gonna say? This success story, he got his life together and changed. And you know what pain looks like when you tell your dad you relapsed and look him directly into his face. You see on your shoulders deceiving me, heavy weight. Haven't seen tears like this on my girl in a while. The trust that I once built to be betrayed. But I'm gonna live telling the truth and be judged for my mistakes that mostly held up. Props, loved and praised, I guess. I gotta get this on the page. Feeling second helpless, lost the compass where self is. I know what I gotta do, and I can't help it. One day at a time is what they tell us. Now I gotta find a way to tell them. One day at a time is what they tell us. Now I gotta find a way to tell them. Let's go! We fall so high. Now we gotta get that way. They listen to when they first got clean. Now look at me, a couple days sober. I'm fighting demons. Back up that meeting on the east side, shaking, tweaking, hoping they don't see it, hoping no one is looking, that no one recognizes that though you're under that hoodie is posted in the back with my hands crossed, shaking. They call on me, I'm passing it. They talk to me, I'm looking at their door before I can make it. Somebody stops me and says, "Are you back no more?" Maybe this isn't the place or time. I just wanted to say that if it wasn't for Other Side, I wouldn't have made it. I just looked down at the ground and said thank you. She tells me she has 9 months, that she's so grateful. Tears in my eyes, looking like she's gonna cry. Fuck, I barely got 48 hours. Treated like I'm some wise monk. I wanna tell her I relapsed, but I can't. I just shake her hand and tell her congrats. I get back to my car, I think I'm tripping there. This guy on Other Side, that pen was in my hand. I'm just a flawed man, man, I'm fucked up. Like so many others, I just never thought I would. I never thought I would. Didn't pick up the book. Doing it by myself didn't turn out that good. If I could be an example of getting sober, then I could be an example of starting over. If I could be an example of getting sober, then I could be an example of starting over. Starting over. Starting be an example of getting sober, then I could be an example of starting over. If I could be an example of getting sober, then I could be an example of starting over.